Every January, the great and the good of the golfing world flock to Florida to showcase the game's latest innovations at the PGA Merchandise Show. Our own Matt Rose joined the crowd to sample some of the newest equipment and training aids on offer in 2019.
I'm with the founder of the Perfect Putter, Ramon. Talk us through your device and how you managed to get to where you are now.
Yeah, so it's kind of a crazy story, but it's a green reading device I created with the help of my dad. I just had an idea. I used to play professionally, and you know, we always looked at my putting, and we always thought that I could putt better, right? And you know, I was working my stroke, and my stroke seemed to be pretty good, but I didn't make enough putts. So my dad, you know, pointed out to me, he's like, well, your green reading needs to be better, right? So that's where I was like, okay, well, how can we test my green reading? So I needed a device that would create the perfect roll on the golf ball every time. I could control the speed and line. So he created one, you know, out of wood, and it was amazing how well it worked. And then we made pretty much essentially the same exact device that we have today, and that was about 10 years ago. And I used to, for my personal use, when playing professionally, I used to have it on the putting green, and people used to give me this weird look, right? Like, what are you doing, you know? That's too technical for me. Well, the device couldn't be more opposite. It's not a technical device. It's more about, you know, feel. It's more about understanding the green and understanding the difficulty of the putt that you have, understanding speed, but also gives you an amazing ability of setting up good practice and drills that, you know, to me, they became my foundation to my putting and gave me an idea of what I needed to do in order to improve.
Absolutely. Well, let's get you to show us how it works. We've got a putt here, just in front of us.
So we got a lot of gadgets here, but I'll show you just a few. So this is the main device. This is what I think. This is what makes us who we are, right? This is the first thing that we did, and we've added new devices throughout the years. But you know, first, you know, you would. I always tell you, okay, you read the putt like if you were going to hit it, right? So you start pretty straight on to the hole, and then you move until, you know, you feel that that's the correct line. So once you have what you feel is the correct line, now it's trial and error, right? So you test it. All right. Now, we have a laser that shows you exactly where it's lined up.
Wow.
This green has, you know, a ton of break. So, like, even on this short putt, there's only 8 feet. We're playing almost a foot out.
Right.
Right. So this is a very difficult putt. Now it's about training, right? So we have a few different alignment aids that attach to the Perfect Putter, like this, right? So now I'm able to set this up, remove the device, and I'm able to practice myself. And get the proper feedback in order to improve.
And now we know, of course, if it's the read or whether it's your stroke, which I guess is the key thing.
So if I were to miss that putt on the right side, I know it could only be two things. I hit it too firm or I pushed it. So you get the proper feedback, and that's how you improve.
Absolutely. And what about, obviously, we've seen it used on the PGA Tour with pros quite a lot. What's the take-up been like with amateurs using this at perhaps their home clubs or elsewhere?
And that's what's been funny, because at the beginning, you know, I thought, okay, well, this device is more towards the better golfer, you know, who's going to spend time and roll balls. But it's been pleasantly surprised. You know, there's so many amateurs that, you know, are starting to buy it on our website. And I mean, their reads are so bad that they almost need a bad stroke, because if they had a perfect stroke, they would miss every time. So, you know, the biggest thing is getting them to understand that they need to spend time green reading and getting them to understand how far, you know, right or left they need to aim in order to make putts. Because at the end of the day, anybody can stroke. You know, putting is simple. You know, it's not like hitting 300-yard drives. So if you aim it properly, your chances of making the putt are high.
Perfect. Ramon, thank you very much for showing us the Perfect Putter. Something for you guys at home, perhaps to try as well.